Hey guys, it's Brandon here, and in today's video, we're going to check out an oceanfront hotel called the Oasis Hotel. It's $6,150,000 price tag. It is a value add deal, but the property appreciated to the tune of $478,000 a year. Yes, I'm going to run through 3 different scenarios over the next 5 years of what this property could sell for and show you the value add potential. Now, you got to watch this video until the end because I don't want your next investment or your first commercial investment to be a flop. So watch the video until the end because it's chocked full of all of the insights that every savvy investor wants. Now, you're going to see an excellent interview I did with the agent that's representing this property, Sara. You'll meet her. You'll also see those 3 different scenarios, those numbers. We're going to run through it. We're going to talk through the information that you need so that you find out exactly how these oceanfront hotels do right here in the Myrtle Beach market. Well, I don't want to hold us up, guys. Let's get into the video now. You'd like to invest in commercial real estate. I'd like to show you how these properties make profit and break down all their expenses so you understand how they operate, how they appreciate over time, and how this will impact your taxes. I'd also like to let you know the property's cap rate and how it compares with similar properties in the market, how the location best services its users, and the potential for future growth. I'd like to fill you in on the historical and future occupancy trends, as well as potential management structures affecting the investment. And we won't miss the investment's risk profile nor the best exit strategies. Yes, we'll cover the condition of the property, any value add potential and repositioning, but we'll also dive into special topics like customer base, market positioning, and marketing and booking strategies when it applies. And if you stay tuned until the end, I'll show you my top picks for the best commercial real estate deals that have generated the most annual profits, have the highest appreciation, and the best tax implications. So no matter if you're a first-time investor or a seasoned professional transitioning into the real estate game, or perhaps simply a casual investor looking to relocate to the beach to live, play, and invest so that the passive income can support you in your retirement years, whether you have 20% to pay down because you're financing or you're a cash buyer, if it's a commercial real estate investment that you're after, you'll be better because I'm aiming to give you a 10 times return on your time for watching my videos until the end. All right, guys, we're on site right here at the Oasis Hotel. Let's just take a look around at what is nearby. You'll look down just a little bit further. You see that red building there? That is the Bahamas Sands. Immediately next door, we do have, this is called Dunescape, this building next door. We've got the Sea Castle right here to our right, as you can see, and it is literally oceanfront or resorts, a lot of them all down the way here. Now, this property, guys, was built here around the 1950s, so it is a little bit older, and it does need a little bit of work, a little bit of TLC, but as you're going to find out shortly, it does turn a nice profit and has excellent appreciation potential. Now, your parking's all right up front, as you can see here. Let's get inside. All right, as soon as you walk in, there's the lobby, as you can see. Our desk. All right, come on through. Drink machines here. Seating area. We do have a pool to our left. Plenty of open space for laying out. Now, I'm going to kind of head this way. This is our beach access. As you can see, You have another building here right next door. Pools, kids playing, all the cool stuff. And that's the rear of it. Now, let's head over this way. We do have a shower. And of course, the on-site pool. And you do have some surveillance there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I believe you should invest in commercial real estate in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because over 90,600 people relocated to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in 2023 alone. This means increased demand for commercial space like retail, multifamily, office, and industrial, and ultimately excellent annual profits and appreciation. Now, for retail, more residents equal more consumers equal higher rental sales potential. This drives up rents and occupancy in retail centers. For multifamily, higher population boosts demand for rental housing, pushing rents up and lowering vacancy. Now, for office, job growth typically follows population growth, increasing demand for office space. For industrial, more people means more consumption and e-commerce activity, increasing warehouse and last-mile logistics demand. Ultimately, the return on investment impact is higher rents, lower vacancy, and rising property values that drive higher net operating income and appreciation. I believe you should invest in commercial or real estate in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, especially oceanfront hotels in the hospitality industry because of the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit our market each year, which is the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast. High tourism equals steady demand, making it one of the most visited beach destinations in the United States. Our oceanfront hotels benefit from consistent seasonal occupancy, premium nightly rates compared to inland properties, and repeat visitors including families, snowbirds, and golfers. All right, guys, so we're coming up to the 5th floor. We're going to get in unit 502, as you can see here. All right, this is the standard layout for all your units. The restroom to the left. As you can see, the flooring, mirror, tub shower combo, as you can see there. All right, you got a closet in the corner. You do have a refrigerator and a microwave. Got some cabinetry here. And there's your room. Towel upon the entrance, of course. Carpet in the actual room. Flat screen TV. Desk. You've got an AC wall unit. And of course, the moneymaker, that oceanfront view. Now, all 50 of the units here are oceanfront, as you can see. There's our pool down below. And that's our view. That pretty much wraps it up for what the units look like here at the Oasis Hotel. In this video, I've shown you the surrounding area and the condition of the property, highlighted the most exciting components of the deal, and given you a walkthrough of the property as well as any amenities. But next, I'll discuss the cap rate and compare this property to other similar deals on the market so that you can understand how it stacks up in gross rental income and appreciation, seeing the competitive advantage for this particular property. Then I'll discuss the location and its potential for future growth, to include local attractions and their influence, what the historical and future occupancy trends are, as well as management, financing, and tax structures so that you understand how the deal was supported for cash flow and appreciation, and avoid the pitfalls other investors have made. Then I'll cover the risk profile and the exit strategies so that you don't end up holding the bag, and even dive into topics like value add, repositioning, and marketing, with stories and testimonials of how other investors won big after purchasing underperforming assets. Plus, I'll throw in any boots on the ground information you simply can't get anywhere else. Finally, we'll do a 5-year projection on the property that shows the initial investment required to get into the deal, the mortgage data, the taxable income data, and the cash flow data, as well as 3 different cap rate scenarios for when you exit the investment. Oh, and don't miss my top market picks right at the end, based on which properties have appreciated the most and have the best annual profitability. All right, so let's work through cap rates. Myrtle Beach 2023, 8%. 2024, 9%. North Myrtle Beach, 7.5 to 8% in 2023. In 2024, it jumped to 8.5%. Now that's an average. Now these reflect the going in cap rates, which is net operating income divided by the sales price. Of course, depending upon deal specifics and asset quality, the cap rate can vary. Now, Myrtle Beach has seen many older limited service or independent oceanfront motel sales that often traded at the higher end of the average cap rate range. We're talking 9 to 10%, whereas North Myrtle Beach had fewer transactions with indications from the listing data of a median asking cap rate of around 7%. Now, this implies that in North Myrtle Beach, there were higher quality or even newer assets where sellers seek lower yields. I believe you should invest in commercial real estate in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in commercial real estate in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in commercial real estate in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, the bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront. All right, so let's dive into what's on the market right here in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach when it comes to hotels. So on the low end, guys, I am seeing a $2.29 million hotel, roughly 8,592 square feet. It has 24 units. We have another one, 3.7 million, 17,000 square feet. We have another one, 4.9, 20,000 square feet. We have a 5 million, 5.2, 7,000 square feet, a little bit smaller. Another 5.2, 24,000 square feet, a 5.8, a 6.1, which is ours. We have a 7.9, which is 35,400. And then we have a 8.8, 48,000 square foot hotel. That 8.8 is roughly 96 units. That's on the high end. So ultimately we have hotels as low as 2.2 and as high as 8.8. Ours is listed, or excuse me, the listing agents is listed at 6.15, or the hotel that's featured in this video. Now we have a whopping 50 units. Now, all in all, I want to dive into market saturation and competition. Now, a competitive landscape with sufficient demand but limited supply of oceanfront hotel provides an ideal scenario for hotel investors. North Myrtle Beach has the right balance of competition, enough to ensure a healthy market, but not so much that it leads to oversupply. So as far as coastal regions go, if you're comparing us with like Florida or other areas, guys, Myrtle Beach has the perfect mix. Additionally, we're that value investment. You're gonna be able to find this hotel a lot cheaper than you would in Florida. It's just that simple. It's going to be, they're going to make the same amount of money, but they're going to have a lower cost to entry barrier in our market as opposed to Florida or other coastal markets. It's just that simple. We're the value investment. Now, key indicators: limited new hotel construction. While demand is increasing, there is still a relatively limited amount of prime oceanfront land available for hotel development, ensuring that competition remains in check. There's also a fragmented hotel market. Many small to mid-sized hotels provide opportunities for investors to either consolidate their assets or differentiate their property with unique amenities. I cannot tell you how many properties that are oceanfront or second row that you can buy here, hotels and motels that don't have great amenities. They've got that value add proposition where you can come in, and I see investors do this all the time with oceanfront, with second row multifamily properties that allow for short-term rentals, and possibly even front row oceanfront properties. They come in, they buy these older, underperforming assets. They put in a pool, they put in an elevator, they put in a movie theater. You know, they upgrade it. And then they've got a rock star property that's renting out very, very well, and they can charge a premium for it. I mean, there are tons of value-added opportunities right here in Myrtle Beach. Now, North Myrtle Beach, and North Myrtle Beach in the Myrtle Beach market, period, which includes North Myrtle Beach, Surfside Beach, Garden City, on into Pawleys Island and Merrill's Inlet. Now, North Myrtle Beach has seen modest growth in new hotel development with a focus on high-quality boutique hotels rather than mass market chains, allowing for differentiation in the market. I'm telling you guys, it's a prime opportunity for somebody to buy this for the value add that it is. Put in those rock star amenities, get that property rolling with excellent management, and boom, sell it at a premium 5 years up the road. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss the location and its potential for future growth, to include local attractions and their influence, what the historical and future occupancy trends are, as well as management, financing, and tax structures, so that you understand how the deal was supported for cash flow and depreciation, and avoid the pitfalls other investors have made. All right, so let's just talk through about the local neighborhood. Let's talk about the surrounding area and future growth. We don't want you guys to think that this place is in the slums.
Not at all.
Ultimately. So, you know, the median sell price of a home in this zip code is $275,000. For the city, it's $275,000. For the county, it's $230,000. So it's actually higher. The median sell price of a home is higher in this zip code than the entire county. Now, for the nation, it's at 308. So we're at 275, and the national average is 308. So you can see that this place is definitely not the slums.
Not at all, yes.
Yeah. And North Myrtle Beach in general, it has a very strong locals feel, right?
It does.
Right?
Yes.
And, you know, I would say that property values compared to Myrtle Beach are generally a little bit higher.
They are higher.
Yeah. So walk us through this local area. Like, what's there to do around here? Attractions? Why would people want to stay here?
Just within walking distance of the Oasis Hotel, you have shopping, dining, entertainment, obviously the beach. There's a lot to do here.
Absolutely, guys. And the beach is the big draw, of course. Now, speaking of that, you know, I once heard Donald Trump say that, you know, hotels, something to the effect of, hotels are great, but he'd rather own a hotel that's attached to a casino. Now, we all understand why. Because it makes money.
That's right.
It makes a lot more money than just a standard hotel. Well, that's the same principle right here over at the Oasis Hotel. You could buy a hotel anywhere, and it should make money if it's ran well. But if you buy a hotel that's beachfront, well, guess what? It's printing cash if it's ran well. Here are the attractions that create the strongest draw for your guests. Now, Barefoot Landing in North Myrtle Beach is a vibrant waterfront destination that seamlessly blends shopping, dining, and entertainment. Now, set along the Intercoastal Waterway, this expansive complex features over 100 specialty shops and boutiques, offering everything from fashion and accessories to unique gifts and coastal treasures. Culinary enthusiasts can indulge in a diverse array of restaurants, including the upscale Greg Norman Australian Grill, the lively Lulu's Beach Arcade and Ropes Course, and the family-friendly Crooked Hammock Brewery, known for its craft beers and relaxed atmosphere. Entertainment options abound with venues like the Alabama Theater, showcasing musical performances, and the House of Blues, hosting concerts and events. Now, families can explore attractions like Alligator Adventure, one of the largest reptile facilities in the world, or enjoy seasonal events like Summerfest and holiday fireworks. Whether you're seeking a leisurely stroll, a shopping spree, or an evening of live entertainment, Barefoot Landing offers a memorable experience for visitors of all ages. Now, the Greg Rouse Legacy Theater is a premier entertainment venue that offers a unique and intimate live performance experience. Founded by acclaimed entertainer Greg Rouse, the theater showcases a variety of shows, including the popular Music and Memories series, which features a world-class cast and band performing beloved songs from past decades. Each performance is 100% live and changes nightly, ensuring a fresh experience for returning guests. The theater has been recognized as WMBF's Best Show of the Grand Strand in 2024, highlighting its commitment to quality entertainment. With a seating capacity of 800, the venue provides an intimate setting that fosters a sense of community and connection between performers and the audience. In addition to its diverse musical offerings, the theater honors military personnel and first responders with special discounts, and during the summer offers promotions such as 2 free child tickets with the purchase of an adult ticket. The Greg Rouse Legacy Theater stands as a testament to Rouse's dedication to creating memorable, family-friendly entertainment that resonates with audiences of all ages. Pirates Voyage. Now, guys, they are doing acrobatics. It's a red team and a blue team of pirates, and they are jumping in the water. They are playing with fire. They are getting all of the guests involved. It is a dinner show, and while you're having dinner and they're serving you great food, they're getting you involved in what they're doing. It is a lot of fun. Your kids, your family is going to enjoy it so much. You don't want to miss the Pirates Voyage. The Alabama Theater, nestled in North Myrtle Beach, Barefoot Landing, has been a premier entertainment venue since its inception in 1993 by the renowned country music band Alabama. Celebrated as the #1 live entertainment theater in the area, it offers a diverse array of performances that captivate audiences of all ages. From February through October, the theater showcases its signature variety show, Iconic, a dynamic production featuring a blend of country, pop, rock, and Broadway hits, complemented by state-of-the-art visuals and choreography. As the holiday season approaches, the venue transforms to present the South's grandest Christmas show, a festive extravaganza filled with traditional and contemporary holiday music, dance, and comedy. Throughout the year, the Alabama Theater also hosts an impressive lineup of guest artists, including notable names like Josh Turner, the Oak Ridge Boys, and Jay Leno, ensuring a memorable experience for every visitor. With its commitment to high-quality performances and family-friendly atmosphere, the Alabama Theater remains a must-visit destination for those seeking top-tier entertainment in the Grand Strand region. Now, guys, the House of Blues in North Myrtle Beach, located at Barefoot Landing, is a premier entertainment venue that combines live music, Southern-inspired cuisine, and vibrant atmosphere. Established in 1997, this 59,000-square-foot facility features a 2-level music hall with a standing capacity of 3,500 and seating for 500 people, hosting a variety of concerts and events throughout the year. Now, the venue includes a restaurant and a bar that offers signature dishes like voodoo shrimp and jambalaya, alongside craft cocktails and an extensive beer selection. Additional spaces, such as the deck, provide outdoor seating with live music and happy hour specials. With its unique blend of music, food, and art, the House of Blues offers an unforgettable experience for visitors and locals alike. The Carolina Opry Theater is right here in Myrtle Beach, not North Myrtle Beach, but it's close enough to North Myrtle Beach for you to go. So basically, it's a premier entertainment venue renowned for its high energy variety shows that blend music, comedy, and dance. Founded by Calvin Gilmore in 1986, the theater has been a cornerstone of Myrtle Beach's live entertainment scene, offering performances that feature a cast of over 35 talented artists. Notable shows include the award-winning The Carolina Opry, the nostalgic Time Warp, and the festive Carolina Opry Christmas Special, each delivering a unique and captivating experience. The theater's luxurious setting, equipped with state-of-the-art lighting and sound systems, ensure an unforgettable experience for audiences of all ages. Recognized as a top attraction in Myrtle Beach by CNBC, the Carolina Opry continues to be a must-visit destination for visitors seeking top-tier entertainment along the Grand Strand. Now, for all you golf enthusiasts, you do not want to miss Barefoot Resort and Golf. Now, it's right there in North Myrtle Beach. It is a premier golf destination featuring 4 championship courses designed by renowned architects Greg Norman, Davis Love, Tom Fazio, and Pete Dye. Now, each course offers a unique golfing experience. The Norman course showcases 7 holes along the Intercoastal Waterway. The Love course incorporates recreated plantation ruins. The Fazio course is nestled among lakes and trees, and the Dye course presents a challenging layout with native grasses and white sand features. The resort provides a variety of accommodations, including golf villas and yacht club condos, and offers stay-and-play packages with seasonal specials. Conveniently located near Barefoot Landing, guests have easy access to shopping, dining, and entertainment options, making it an ideal destination for both golf enthusiasts and vacationers. Azalea Sands Golf Club, guys, located right there in North Myrtle Beach. As you can imagine, it is stunning. Now, it's an 18-hole par 72 course designed by Gene Ham in 1972. Known for its wide fairways, well-bunkered greens, and strategically placed lakes that come into play on 8 holes, the course offers a pure golf experience without residential distractions. Recent renovations have enhanced the clubhouse, pro shop, and dining facilities, providing a welcoming atmosphere for all golfers. With 6 sets of tees accommodating various skill levels and amenities like a putting green and chipping area, Azalea Sands is a must-visit for those seeking a relaxed yet engaging round of golf in the Grand Strand region. All right, guys, the Arcadian Shores Golf Club is technically located in Myrtle Beach, but it's close enough to make it work for you. Is a classic Rees-Jones design that has captivated golfers since its opening in 1974. As Jones's first solo project, the course masterfully integrates natural elements like live oaks, strategically placed lakes, and 64 bunkers into a challenging yet enjoyable layout. Stretching 6,857 yards from the championship tees, with a par of 72, it offers a test for low handicappers while remaining accessible to players of all skill levels through multiple tee options. Notably, holes 2 and number 13 have been repeatedly recognized among the Grand Strand's Dream 18 for their memorable design and strategic demands. Recent renovations, including the installation of a Sunday Ultra Dwarf Bermuda greens and a new clubhouse, have enhanced the playing experience, solidifying Arcadian Shores' reputation as a must-play golf course right here in Myrtle Beach area. All right, Sarah, so let's work through the occupancy rate right here at the Oasis Hotel, as well as the average daily rate. Now, as you and I were talking about it, we obviously recognize that there's a lot of value add potential here at the Oasis for an investor that wants to take advantage of that. So, occupancy rates. What are we looking at?
In our peak season, June, July, August, we're at about 58%. We've got a daily rate around $85. So obviously, like you said, a lot of potential here.
And then that July month, let's kind of work through that. I noticed that it brought in $128,000.
Yeah, it did.
So we're looking at an average daily rate of about $85?
$85 a night.
$85 a night. So guys, you can see here that with the occupancy rate and even that average daily rate, in the peak season, there is room for value add potential. All right, Sarah, so what are the main line item expenses
Well, you have your payroll, utilities, maintenance, taxes, insurance,
Gotcha. And so payroll was roughly
about $75,000 a year.
75,000, and then utilities
Utilities is about $32,000 a year.
32,000, and then maintenance. What would you guess?
Maintenance is around $20,000 a year.
Okay, not bad, not bad. And then insurance. I noticed the insurance was a little bit lower.
The insurance is very low. It's under $7,000 a year. They don't have the problem of flooding here like in Cherry Grove.
Come
so
on.
When they own the building free and clear, they do opt out of having things like flood insurance.
Yep, absolutely. Now, that's a juicy topic to dive into that a lot of investors here that aren't local would want to know about. Cherry Grove floods.
All the time. High tide, full moon.
Yeah, so if you see a property that is not raised up in Cherry Grove, you need to be careful buying it. And if you do buy it, you need to make sure that you have flood insurance. Now, that's one of the unique advantages here.
Yes.
So you don't have to carry that flood insurance if you're not using financing, which can keep those expenses a little bit lower, which can give you a competitive advantage operating wise.
Absolutely.
Compared to other hotels.
That's right.
Now, I noticed that you have a unique situation for the management structure that's in place. Let's talk about the property manager, the on-site property manager, and kind of how that breaks down.
So the advantage to this building is there is an additional suite that is for the management that lives on site and maintains the entire property year round.
Wow. Now that's a little bit different.
Yes, it definitely saves on your expenses.
Okay, so kind of walk through. So does that person come with the property when they purchase it?
It's definitely an option.
Option, okay, for sure. And then is there any specific contract in place?
There's not. So if you didn't want to go that route, you can gladly do whatever you'd like.
All right, that gives you a lot of flexibility. All right, Sara, so what is the room mix layout and what's the condition? Kind of walk us through the advantages of Oasis Hotel.
The biggest advantage at the Oasis Hotel is that all 50 units are direct oceanfront view. You have no side view. Every single one is direct oceanfront, panoramic views of the Atlantic coast. All of the units are efficiency units with a kitchenette and a full bathroom. Each unit has a balcony as well. All of them are the same layout with mirror images. You do also have the management suite, so that's a big advantage.
And the manager stays on site there.
That's correct.
Now, the advantage for the Oasis Hotel is very simply put that they're all oceanfront units. Unlike other hotels that have both ocean views and oceanfront. Now, the oceanfront units you can charge a premium for, as where the ocean views, you can't get that premium. So here, you're maximizing your leverage if you choose to finance, or you're maximizing your dollar for dollar investment, getting it the highest amount of upside potential by being able to have only oceanfront units. It's that simple and that easy. Let's get in unit 201 right here at the Oasis Hotel. Now the bathroom's on the right this time. As you'll see here, have that same tub shower combo. You can see there. Closet space here. Now we have double beds in this unit, as you can see. Flat screen, desk, and if you'll look here, refrigerator. Of course, got that ocean view, as you can see, and your pool with a balcony. You have that wall AC unit. All right, Sara, so let's hop into zoning. Now, what is the zoning designation here, and does it allow for any hotel or mixed-use redevelopment?
Absolutely, it sure does. That's the advantage here. You do own the air rights as well, so you can build a high rise, you can add on to the building, and you can maximize the potential here.
Perfect, wonderful. Now, are there any zoning, licensing, or grandfathered use, that come with this property?
You do have a higher commercial street sign than majority of the other commercial properties along the coast here, so you have a lot more exposure. That's a grandfathered in sign.
That's really, really cool. Yeah, absolutely. And if you'll look, I'm looking down right now, you don't see really any signs along the front of these other oceanfront hotels. And that comes with the property.
It does.
Not bad. So if I was interested, let's just hypothetically say I was interested in demolishing this place and building a high rise, then I've got a nice unique feature that my competition doesn't have.
Absolutely.
Nice. Okay, now, are there any pending or past lawsuits involving the property?
There is not.
Well, that's good news. Absolutely good news. And is the property in compliance with state and city lodging taxes and permitting?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, let's talk a little bit about market positioning and future potential, because obviously that's what this is all about. The appreciation on this property, as you guys are going to see, is phenomenal, just based on the historical appreciation alone. And I've got to take a moment just to kind of dive into that. Guys, if you look at the sales records, this property back in 2013, I want to say it sold for like $300 and something thousand, like maybe like $315 or something. You fast forward to 2023, the property sold for $5.1 million. I mean, we're talking about a ridiculous amount of appreciation. So all that being said, with our market, the way that it is, in the sense that we've had over 90,600 people move here just in the past 12 months. For the last 3 years, we've been the fastest growing market out of the 150 most populated markets in the entire U.S. In light of that, in light of the fact that baby boomers are retiring at 10,000 per day and they're moving to Myrtle Beach into Florida, and they figured out that Myrtle Beach is the value buy, it's much cheaper. Guys, I mean, in my opinion, we are positioned to have some incredible appreciation and especially future growth in our market. So, I mean, I think it's safe to say that we will see that same type of appreciation in the coming years. Now, who are the hotel's competitors in North Myrtle Beach, and how does it compare location, average daily rate, occupancy? Who are we mainly competing against here?
Mainly high-rise hotels. Therefore, they have a lot more amenities, a lot more average night value. It's a lot higher price point, so it's a lot more affordable to come stay at the Oasis Hotel.
Absolutely.
You have a different type of guest staying here.
That's exactly right.
And you don't have as much, it's not so competitive.
Yeah. So ultimately, this is going to be your budget-friendly traveler.
Yes.
So if you'll look around us, I showed you there's the Sea Castle, there's the Bahama Sands. We have these massive high-rise oceanfront condominiums. Well, the people that are renting those are not going to be renting this property. It's not the same market at all. And for every different type of oceanfront condominium, oceanfront complex, there's a different end user. So there are people that rent this out to the tune of $500, and I think it was $563,000 this place brought in last year. So there is an end user for this type. And it is very, very different from the person that's going to rent all these huge, massive, high-rise oceanfront resorts. Now, the average customer demographic and the seasonality. Is seasonality based on the standard peak season, April through September? Is that what we're talking about here?
Generally, I'd say so. However, since it is a budget-friendly hotel, you do have more year-round occupancy than the average high-rise hotel.
I like what you're talking about. So basically, there's a unique opportunity here to where you can get people that are renting maybe 3 months out of the year.
That's correct. You get a lot of, truckers, people coming to work for the off-season, quite a variety of guests staying here during the wintertime.
Not bad, not bad. So obviously, again, it just shows you that there's a competitive advantage in the type of demographic and the use of this type property compared with all of the oceanfront or resorts around us. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll cover the risk profile and the exit strategies so that you don't end up holding the bag, and even dive into topics like value add, repositioning, and marketing, with stories and testimonials of how other investors won big after purchasing underperforming assets. Plus, I'll throw in any boots on the ground information you simply can't get anywhere else. Finally, we'll do a 5-year projection on the property that shows the initial investment required to get into the deal, the mortgage data, the taxable income data, and the cash flow data, as well as 3 different cap rate scenarios for when you exit the investment. Oh, and don't miss my top market picks right at the end, based on which properties have appreciated the most and have the best annual profitability. Now, you know, what are the opportunities for repositioning this property?
I'd say with some
Rebranding, upselling,
absolutely unique marketing,
Yeah, for sure.
some different avenues to explore.
Yeah, well, I mean, would you say that this property in particular, maybe compared to some other ones in our market, has a lot of opportunity?
Definitely has a lot of opportunity for growth.
Yep, for sure, for sure. All right, so then let's talk about the large developments and infrastructure projects nearby. So North Myrtle Beach is doing a lot.
Yes.
Kind of go into that for us.
There's been a lot of development going on, new construction, a lot of new buildings, multifamily, high rises. There is going to be Margaritaville built nearby.
I know, right?
Yes.
That's going to be huge.
Absolutely.
And if Margaritaville is building here, then that's going to be another tourist draw. We already have 20 to 22 million tourists that visit our market each year. So it is the number 2 vacation destination on the East Coast. But when you see the big boys making investments in our market, it tells me that our market is posed for appreciation.
That's right.
So, in other words, what I'm saying is, if I'm saying anything at all, is there's a lot of opportunity for future growth right here at the Oasis Hotel. All right, Sarah, so let's talk just a little bit about the labor market. Is there a labor pool, and how easy is that to find the right staff?
That's as easy as a Facebook marketplace ad. So there are plenty of people ready to work, willing to work.
In our market, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no question. And a lot of them live pretty close to the beach. Bus ride,
Yeah.
cab ride, walking distance. I mean, that's a very real thing in our market. Let's talk a little bit about deal structure and how motivated the seller is. The juicy stuff. Now, why is the seller selling?
The seller is selling because they are not local. They would like to have a new venture closer to where they are located for management purposes.
Which makes perfect sense.
They do like to buy and sell often. Every couple years, they like to make some changes to their portfolio.
We talked a little bit about value add. Let's talk about that price a little bit. Do you think that the seller would be willing to negotiate for somebody that wants to buy this for that value add opportunity?
I'd say with the right terms, the seller is, willing to entertain all offers.
All right, so is seller financing available, or is there any kind of assumable debt available?
There is not. The seller owns this property free and clear.
Now, of course, there's value add here. Of course, you could come in, somebody could knock this whole place down, build a nice high rise, do a whole big project. Somebody could come in and just do a simple reno on it and fix it up and charge more for those daily, rates. Ultimately, it's the same principle that we see, whether it's a smaller property, an oceanfront condo, a house a block off the beach. The strategy is simple. People buy underperforming assets. They come in, they put some money into it, they fix it up, they put it back on the market, they make more money renting it, and then they sell it for a premium on top of what they have in it. It's that simple and that easy, whether it's a hotel that's $6 million or a $300,000 oceanfront condo. It's all the same, guy. Are there any encumbrances, easements, or deed restrictions on this property?
Nothing that would be out of the ordinary.
And then any deposits or licenses, transferable contracts that come with the sale?
None of that.
How are you guys on, handing over rent rolls and any kind of documents that, interested investors want to see?
Yeah, of course, we're more than happy to provide all financials during this seller's ownership.
All right, guys, so let's tackle the online reviews for the Oasis Hotel. Now, essentially, I went online and you'll see on your screen that, it has a 3.6 Google review. Now, for some people, that might scare them off. Oh, this place is horrible. Don't buy it. It's bad. Look at what people are saying, blah, 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 blah. For a savvy investor, for my investors, they read between the lines. And this is what I tell people to do all the time. Now, here's the cool thing. Whenever you find a property that has low reviews but is churning a profit, it's a signal that there's demand in the market for that product. Now, the product might not be excellent, and everybody might not be drinking the Kool-Aid on it, which is a good sign. That means that there's value add potential. So essentially, even though there's some negative reviews online, the property is still churning a profit and the owners are still making money. which means somebody can come in, the market's obviously demanding this product, or else people wouldn't be talking about it and the owner wouldn't be making money. So you come in, you revitalize it, you pour some life into it, you put a little cash into it, and the next thing you know, you start having those 4 stars and 5-star reviews. Reviews are a hidden way to show you where the opportunity is in our market. Of course, you've got to be a savvy investor and have a little bit of courage and go, okay, well, if it's churning a profit and it's making money, but some of the reviews are bad, I've got an opportunity right now. All right, now, I was noticing online, this place is booked at lots of places. I Googled it, of course, and it's online at Vio, it's online at Zen Hotels, Trip.com, Oasis Hotel, TripAdvisor. Is it with Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com? Like, what's the whole spill on how they're marketing it online?
Absolutely. So that's one of the first things this owner did when they purchased the property. They did explore other avenues for marketing, other websites to collect reservations on, and it has grown exponentially.
Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, we'll do a 5-year projection on the property that shows the initial investment required to get into the deal. The mortgage data, the taxable income data, and the cash flow data, as well as 3 different cap rate scenarios for when you exit the investment. Oh, and don't miss my top market picks right at the end, based on which properties have appreciated the most and have the best annual profitability. All right, guys, so let's jump into the Alternative Cash Sales Worksheet for 1415 South Ocean Boulevard. Guys, the first section at the top has your mortgage balance. As you can see, year 1, it's $4,536,343. Year 2, 3, 4, and 5, your balance, that $4,177,180. Now, you'll also see underneath that 3 projected sales prices at 3 different cap rates. So at your first cap rate of 7.6%, that assumes that the property and the market is not going to increase at all in value and that everything stays the same. That's the current cap rate on the property, that's 7.6%. So that puts you at a year 6 net operating income divided by that cap rate, gives you a sales price of $6,797,013. Now, assuming the market improves by 1 point at that 6.6% cap rate in year 6, take that net operating income of year 6, divide it by the cap rate, gives us that $7,826,864 sales price. And then finally, guys, the third scenario, which I am aiming for and believe based on the historical appreciation on the property to the tune of $5 million, which we're going to get into in just a moment. I've got you at that 5.6% cap rate. That puts you to sales price of $9,224,518. That's what I believe the property is going to sell for in the next 5 years, hands down. Now, we've got 3 of the calculations to jump into, one of which is your calculation of adjusted basis. That's essentially what the IRS says the property's worth. Then we're also going to jump into the calculation of capital gain on sale. That's going to be really important for you. And then finally, we're going to jump into the calculation of sales proceeds after tax. Again, another very important number for you because you want to know what's hitting your bank account. Calculation of adjusted basis. Now, the basis at acquisition was $6,396,000. That's that purchase price plus the brokerage fees for acquiring the property, acquisition cost. Now, our cost recovery over the life of the investment was $199,346. That's what we wrote off. If you take that $199,346 from the $6,396,000, you are left with an adjusted basis at sale in year 5 of $6,196,655. That's what the IRS says the property's worth. Now, for the rest of the way through this presentation, I'm going to assume the best case scenario when selling. That's that 5.6% cap rate, because essentially that's what I believe the property will sell for 5 years from now. So your calculation on capital gain was a sell price of $9,224,518. We have a cost of sale of $368,981. That's 4% of the sales price for brokerage fees. Then you have your adjusted basis, which we just calculated. You take that away of $6,196,655. That is going to leave you with a gain of $2,658,883. Essentially, we took the $9 million, We subtracted out the cost of sale. We subtracted out the adjusted basis at sale, which is what the IRS said it was worth, and we're left with that $2,658,883. That's our gain. Then we're going to take out from that gain the cost recovery of $199,346, and we are left with a capital gain from appreciation to the tune of $2,459,537, which is in keeping with the historical appreciation on the property. Now, more on that later. Essentially, we're going to also take out those unamortized loan costs of 2% of the purchase, of 2% of the mortgage, which was $92,250, and we're left with ordinary taxable income to the tune of $2,367,287. Next, we're going to hop into what you want to know, those sales proceeds after tax. So let's knock out that final calculation of sales proceeds after tax. Again, that sales price in the best case was $9,224,518. Your cost of sale at 4% brokerage fees were $368.98. If you take into account your mortgage balance, you have left on at $4,177,180. Well, guys, we take the $9 million, we take out the cost of sale, we take out the mortgage balance, we are left with a sales proceeds before tax of $4,678,357. Then we take out our income, our ordinary income at 37%, which was $875,896. That's 37% of line 16. Finally, we take out our straight line recapture at 20% of line 11. Essentially, the IRS is saying to you, we gave you all that write-off for cost recovery and depreciation. Well, we want a piece of it back at a 20% now that you're selling the property. So you're going to have to pony up another $39,869. And then finally, you have tax on capital gain at 25% of line 13. That's $614,884. Essentially, the IRS is saying the same thing. Hey, we want a piece of that capital gain. And you're basically taking your sales proceeds before tax. You're going to subtract out the ordinary income at 37%. You're going to subtract out the straight line recapture at 20%. You're going to subtract out the capital gain recapture at 25%. And you are left with a sales proceeds after tax of $3,147,708. Yes, guys, I do believe this property will appreciate that much. That's the win here. Buying the property, it's an underperforming asset, putting some TLC into it, turning it around, and holding it, because our market has been the fastest growing market out of the 150 most populated markets in the entire U.S. for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. So they're building like it's going out of style here. I don't have any doubt that our properties will continue to appreciate, because we had over 90,600 people move here. Baby boomers are retiring, the largest and wealthiest generation in America's history, to the tune of $10,000 per day, and they want to live at the beach. They're moving to Myrtle Beach into Florida, and out of those two places, they figured out they get more for their money in our market than they do in Florida. So what are they doing? They're buying up properties like it's going out of style. And what does that do for our prices? Obviously, that drives prices up because demand is up. So, guys, do I have any doubt in the next 5 years that this property is going to continue to appreciate? No, it will. Our market prices are appreciating, and they are holding in spite of higher inventory levels, in spite of tariffs going on, in spite of all the other factors. Our prices are doing very, very well. Our sellers are very, very happy, and I do believe this property will appreciate well. Let's dive into some of that historical appreciation. Now, this is what I can't wait to dive into. Appreciation, the historical appreciation. Guys, in 2013, the purchase price was $315,000. Yes. In 2023, you fast forward, the property sold for $5,100,000. That is historical appreciation over a 10-year period of $4,785,000. Yes. That's $478,500 per year. Do you hear me? Man, that's good appreciation. That's really good appreciation. All right, so anyways, now I've got 3 different scenarios on your screen. One at a 7.6% cap rate. That's if everything stays the same in our market. If things haven't improved at all, well, guess what? The property is going to make that $77,281 a year. You know, you're putting in 1.875, 750. You're selling it and getting the sales proceeds after tax of $2,267,154. That's a total appreciation of as much as $386,404. Scenario 1, everything stays the same. Scenario 2, things improve a little bit by 1 point cap rate difference. That's 6.6%. Guys, 1,875,750 is what you got in it. 1.8 million you have in it on the initial investment. You're selling it. Your sales proceeds after tax is 2.6. You're walking away with $762,000 in appreciation. It's $152,000 a year. Scenario 3, which I think is most likely based off the historical performance of the property. Guys, your initial investment is 1.8. Your sales proceeds after tax is 3.1. You're walking away with 1.271. It's $254,392 in appreciation. That's half of what it made last time, based on that 10-year historical appreciation. So do I think the property's a moneymaker? Absolutely. Is the property doing well with annual profits? No. Does it need some TLC? Is it an underperforming asset? Yes. Do we see these kinds of assets all the time in real estate? Yes. People buy underperforming assets. They come in, they improve the property, they make it better, they charge higher rents, they sell it for more. People do this all the time. Whether it's a single family home and you're doing a fix and flip, it's the same exact principles for a hotel or a commercial property. It's that simple, guys. Now, you're probably curious about the property taxes on this property. We're looking at in 2023, it was $27,591. In 2022, $26,000. In 2021, $29,000. And you can see there on your screen the property taxes for the property.